Hello and good evening. This is our pod number 9. I'm Drew, also known as GSG.
I'm Sarah, also known as Airsoft Vixen.
Hi, I'm Alex.
And hi, I'm Jem, known as Jem Airsoft. And today we've got Rob. Welcome, Rob.
Hello, I'm Rob from Belgium.
Great.
You want me to say more?
Yeah.
Well,
All right. So I'm Rob from Belgium. People know me as Verage Airsoft, or if people saw my videos, it's Verage Airsoft because I like to whisper. And I do all kinds of stuff in Airsoft. I've been playing since 2006, doing all kinds of stuff. But mainly, we're going to talk about Airsofter World this evening, or all the other questions that you ladies have for me.
so thanks for coming on tonight, Rob. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
So just a couple of things first of all. Just another reminder for you that we are still live with our charity game tickets, which you can get from Skirmish Wickham's website. So there's a link below just there. So go check them out. There is a limited number available. So yeah, make sure you get yours in there as soon as possible. Second of all, we'll have a quick chat about our most recent meetup that we had, which was not last weekend before, wasn't it? Yeah. So UKAL had their meetup at Green Ops UCAP down in Hampshire, and it was our best turnout yet. We had over 20 UKAL members,
Hey.
which was amazing. So yeah, we were really impressed with that, and obviously the support we had there as well was very overwhelming. So yeah, we had a good day, didn't we, guys?
It was awesome. Yeah,
It was very awesome. Yeah.
a lot of action-packed gameplay for sure.
A lot of pyro.
Oh yeah, Jem did not like the pyro, bless her. I think that was mainly. I can't remember their names. There was a chap.
London Ghosts.
It was, yeah. I can't remember the guy's name, unfortunately. He literally just had a case, and we were pinned in this building, and he just had this box full of pyro, and he was just lobbing it at this building. It was going off on the roof, like it kept bouncing back off, and it was just pyro going off everywhere.
Yeah, I
mad,
wish we had the
wasn't
GoPro on because we couldn't fit. It would have been such good.
It has been insane, yeah. I think one of the ladies might have got some of the footage.
Yeah.
So
I'd
we'll
like to
have
see
to.
that.
I'll have to send her a message and try and find some.
Yeah.
What was your peak and pit of the event? Like your highs and your lows of it?
I know mine for sure.
Go on then.
We were in Sarah. Who were we with? We were in a little like.
Oh,
cabin
that
thing.
building! Oh
Yeah,
my
little
goodness!
building. And
There was a few of us. Lenny ran out to go clear the next building, didn't she? Call sign Hobbit. I can't remember who was in there. There must have been about at least 4 of us in there.
Yeah, I think there was a guy in there as well.
And I was literally, because you could see through the cracks in the building, like they had like little metal holes. So I was looking through them and I was like, right, everyone be silent. They're now approaching. And I was literally about to pop this corner to get this guy. And then I got friendly fired from the next building along through the windows. So then I was like, hit, like, dead player coming out. So they let me out. And there was a whole group of them literally like surrounding this building, moving in. And I obviously had to stand there like, oh no. And then the next thing I hear was Jem scream and this pyro go off and she's going, hit. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I kind of stayed close by because I thought something's gone wrong here because it was a very loud scream. But I thought maybe it's just Jem and she's scared of the pyro. Not sure. We'll hang around. We'll hang around and find out. But you explain what happened, Jem.
So basically, because you got shot in the hut, and I knew they were coming, I then went outside the hut, and then like it was like a little staircase thing. So I was tucked in the corner, and then some pyro like landed like on my shoulder, and then kind of got stuck in my hair. So I was trying to get it off, and they took a while to throw it as well. So it went off so quickly, and I just couldn't get it off my shoulder. And in the end, it like went off, and it was on my shoulder, and it burnt my top. And the amount of mousse I had in my hair, I was like, my hair's gonna go, my hair's gonna go.
God.
Yeah, that was fun.
Luckily, your hair did not catch fire.
It did not. I clarify.
So we'll crack on with asking Rob some questions about his little project going on. So yeah, tell us all about Airsofter World.
All of it. All right. I will try to sum it up a little bit. What we're basically building is a platform for airsoft around the world, and we try to bring everything together, grow the community everywhere, because there are countries that are still building their community. There are countries that have a strong community, countries big associations. There are countries without associations, and we're trying to help everybody to get to the same level. And Airsofter World is a platform that we use to do that, and you can do a lot of things with it. And it will be very difficult for me to give me all of the information at once. So we'll go by it step by step. I think that's the best way of doing it. Otherwise, I will just be talking for an hour, and a lot of people heard me talking for a long time. So, what specifically you want to know?
How did it start? We'll go there right at the beginning.
It's already a difficult question because for me, I joined the project 2 years ago. I had my own website, Airsoft United, which was built in 2009, and that was this successor of skirm.be. That was the first platform that we built to have like events on it. That was made in 2009. That's where everything started for me. And then 5 years I've used that with some organizers bringing that together. And then later on in 2014, it was done. It was like we reached the capabilities of that online platform, and we just were like, okay, we need something new. And then nobody helped me, so I decided to build my own platform, and that was Airsoft United. And Airsoft United was going strong, and it's still online. And it basically just brought more together on one platform. You had the locations, events, teams, and everything was interlinked to each other. So you could keep clicking on different things. If you went to a location, you could see the upcoming events. You could see the gameplay videos that were linked to that location, because if you didn't went to that location yet, you could see how it looked like. There were pictures, organizers that were organizing on it, players that play there, and everything was automatically filled in. So if people went there, they linked it to something, and then other people could see it. It was basically a very big database of information, but not filled in by one person, but filled in by the community. And the more they filled in, the more information there was to find for other people. And it has always been my setup to, instead of one person doing all the work, it should be coming from the community to make it sustainable. Because otherwise, that one person, and I had that over the almost 10 years of working on it, it was very difficult to get help. And if you're alone in it, there are moments where you be like, well, screw this. I don't want to do this anymore. And I was at the point, okay, I'm getting to my limit here with what I can do, because I'm not a programmer. I just use what I found on YouTube and built the platform. And then in 2021, the guys from Airsofter World, they found my platform because a Romanian guy knew both platforms. And they were like, well, you guys need to talk to each other and start doing something together. And I decided to ditch my project to work on Airsofter World and bring all the good stuff from Airsoft United into Airsofter World and make something bigger instead of only for Belgium, we just make it for the world. Because Airsofter World was originally created for Ukrainian platform, Ukrainian airsofters. And that was also running from 2014, not 9, 2014. So for 10 years, both platforms have been running, have built their own momentum, and we just joined forces. That's how it all started, and we're still going together as one.
That's pretty cool.
Awesome.
Who else is like involved in it then? Is it just yourself, sort of?
It depends on how you define involved. So what we do with Airsofter World, if I mispronounce the Airsofter World to Airsoft United, that's just because I've been saying the Airsoft United so many times. So Airsofter World is active in like there are over 60 countries that we have players in the platform.
Wow.
Most of the countries like that, like 2/3 of the countries are below 10 people, but at least we have some people there. So there are 70 different countries that are represented on Airsofter World. From those 70 countries, there are 25 countries that we actively talk to. We have a Discord where we have a list of countries that we have a communication line with, and that's 25 of those countries. And in those countries, we try to settle one team of people that want to grow Airsofter World in their country, and they work together with associations, with organizers, with shops. For example, Germany, we just launched something that the first 5 players in the ranking system. But if you want to know more about that, I can tell you that they got a gift packet from a German shop, and they can get that by going to events. So German organizers put events online, and they got points, and then a German shop sent out the packages. So that's one group in Germany doing all that. And from those 25 countries, we are talking with 12 associations. So different countries have different associations. For example, what is it in UK? Is it UK something something? It's like 5 letters, and I forgot it. And I had it written down, and let me double check it because I have it here somewhere. UK APU. I don't know.
I haven't heard of it.
Okay, so that's apparently an association that is linked to the European Airsoft Federation. People might have heard about the European Airsoft Federation, which is not doing much right now.
A little bit.
Yeah, it is a link of all the associations, and because we didn't heard that much anymore, I was like, well, we have all the connections now. Why don't we do this with Airsofter World? And we have the platform as a front, but in the back, we're working with all those associations to find information and link up with everybody and see where we can go into the next step, which I will probably talk about later in this podcast anyway.
Cool.
So yeah, what's the overall aim?
So the overall aim is getting everything on one platform, because Airsoft is very small. We are a small community. We don't have a lot of leverage in, for example, Facebook. We all see what's going on in Facebook or Instagram. If they don't want us, they just delete us. That's how things are going right now. With Airsofter World, it's our thing. It's specifically tailored for our thing. And the reason why they don't want us on Facebook is because it's just easier to delete the things that we do because it's so close to the weapons. And they don't want to go into all the specific things of gun regulations in different countries, because every country has a different law system, rule set. And they don't want to spend time in that because we are just too small. And in Airsofter World, every country has its own rule set, and we tailor specific parts of the website. For example, there's going to be a marketplace where people can buy and sell their secondhand gear and rifles. For example, in Belgium, you cannot put a rifle online. It is prohibited by law. You cannot do it. So we have to make sure that it's geo-locked, that Belgian people cannot put any rifles online. But before we can do that, we have to talk to the associations that have links to the political and the regulation system, so we know what is going on. And instead of everybody doing that one by one, we just bundle all the information and we pick out what is important for us. And then also, if you, for example, go to an event, you get all the rules and laws from that country that you want to go to. If I want to play in UK or in Sweden or in Germany, I automatically get all the rules and laws to get to that country. And we only have to do that once. And everything is on the platform in the database. And that is basically what we want to do. We want to build one big database of information. And see, that's super confusing. I see the messages, and I'm confused. And
You saw the word hot tub and you got distracted.
Yeah.
Damn it. No, but that's basically what we want to do. We want to break out the small bubbles. We all knew, we all have been there, that there are airsoft communities just break down because there is no traction anymore, and that's because everybody just keeps in their own little bubble. And I want to break. Well, with Airsoft World, we want to break out in those bubbles, and people need to go to different places to play. Like in Belgium, we see it a lot. Organizers just try to keep all their players for themselves. But I am an international player. I like to play in different sites. I want to find where I want to go. And now it is just hell to find anything, because, well, UK is easy. It's English. But if I want to go play in Poland, well, I don't speak Polish. If I want to play in Sweden, well, I'm gonna play there a lot in the
I was
future.
going to say,
Yeah.
you better learn it.
But Swedish will be. I'm gonna learn Swedish. But Finnish, for example, no, fuck no. I'm not gonna. And Airsofter World automatically translate all the events. So if a German organization places an event on Airsofter World, it's going to be translated into English automatically. And then later on, we're going to add more languages like Spanish or even Chinese if that is needed in the future. And that is one reason to break out those bubbles. And that's one way to do it. Just make it accessible for everybody instead of like having all the like the horse thingies on in I forgot English names.
The unicorns.
No, not that. The thing. Who said unicorn?
Gem.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course, it was Gem.
It's the thing that the horses have on in the cities to only look forward, not the
Oh,
thing.
I don't know what it's called.
Tunnel vision.
I know what you
Unicorns
mean.
are not real.
Like no, the police,
Really?
like the police horses, they have the things
Yes.
over their eyes, so they can only see like not around them. They can only see
Yeah.
like tunnel vision.
That exactly, tunnel vision, and a lot of players have that because they don't know anything better. They don't know where to find it. There is nothing that is bringing this all together. And there has been platforms around the world that tried this before. And I feel that a lot of those platforms were doing it the wrong way because they were not building it from the base up. And that's the hard part. You need to talk to the associations, which is the boring part. I want to like shout out and you can go to that event and you can go to that event and I can try to find that all that information. But if you have nothing to back you up, you don't have any support, any backbone, after a year you're done because you will not keep up with getting that information online. This information needs to come from the organizers, from the community, and not from one person doing it. I will with Airsofter World, we will build the platform for you to use, but it's up to the players and the organizers to use it, and the manufacturers and the shops to support it.
Yeah. With you talking about the community, that jumps to question 5, which is me to ask question 5. So I was just going to jump in with, if you could change one thing about the community, what would it be?
I prepared all the questions because I know how my brain works.
We might go back to question 3 and 4, but I've hopped in there with you talking about the community.
Yeah, I'm just reading my answer.
While you read your answer, John has said that the thingies are called blinders. That would make sense.
Blinders.
Okay, yeah. But tunnel vision is also perfect.
Not what Liam said, unicorn vision.
Unicorn vision.
It can be unicorn vision, it's fine.
Yeah.
No, but if I would change one thing in the community, it's basically to break out of all those bubbles and set all the differences aside. There is a lot of frustration between different communities within the airsoft community. We all know that people look down on, for example, speed softers. And it's not on the people itself. It's just as soon as you put up a mask and you have like fancy clothing, like not the colorful clothing, people automatically be like, he's a dick.
Yeah.
Which is stupid, because if I wear those clothes and you see me playing CQB, hey Jonathan, if you see me playing CQB, you would say like, that's a speed softer. But on Burget, I'm leading companies of over 100 people, and that is like total milsim. It is, why would you look down on people that have fun in their way? And that needs to stop. People just need to have fun. And if you go to a certain event, respect the rules of that event. If you go to an open game, everybody's fair to play any way possible as long as they follow the rules of that game. If you go to a Milsim game and you join as a Speedsoft thingy, well, then you're just not the person to be on that location. The other way around, if you're a Milsim and you play in your full play carrier and you go to a Speedsoft game, you're not in place where you want to go. Just respect the rules. And you have a question?
Another one.
I dressed up as Wonder Woman one time. Where do I fit in?
It depends on the game that you went to. If you went to an open game, fair game. You can dress up as whatever you want. If you would go to Berget, for example, in Sweden, and you would dress up as Wonder Woman, it would be fun, but it would not be as a player. You would be as a mascot, or you would be there to boost morale, which is perfectly. You can put it in the storyline for us as an HQ. We can be like, hey, we have something to boost morale of our troops. Here is Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm boost the morale. That sounded so wrong.
We'll add that to the list with tossing the wok.
Oh god.
But it is about having fun, but also following the rule set that you go to. And the rule set is not you follow the spirit of the rule. And this is something that I've been talking about to a lot of players. Like, you have the written rule and you have the spirit of the rule. You can read the lines and be like, hey, I can do this because the rule doesn't use this word. But you can also like think and be like, maybe they mean like that we have to do it this way. So I will not go into the gray zone. I will just follow the rules as they are meant to be followed. So you can be Wonder Woman if you want to, but we will
just
put it in for you.
I might be Catwoman next time in a load of leather.
Catwoman is already.
Hey!
I can fit you in my company. It's fine.
So if viewers were interested in getting involved in Airsofter World, how would they go about it?
Now we have to go back to serious stuff. So if people want to be involved with Airsofter World, how to do it? There is a lot of things that you can do. One, you can create an account on Airsofter World and start sharing your airsoft things you do, because the more content there is, the more information there is. If you're an organizer, get in touch with me, and I'll give you all the information about how to put your events on there. Because since 2024 we have a pricing list on how to move forward with the platform, and we're starting asking money for certain things, and that's actually one thing that I want to go into a little bit deeper in a second. And now I forgot the other question. Okay, how can people so if you're a shop, you can promote the platform, you can have your banner on there. Also, there is a pricing list of the banners. If you're a manufacturer, please contact us and we can work out a partnership in certain ways. But as an airsofter, go to your the location that you play, go to your site and be like, hey, why don't you put your events on there so more people can find it? No, look at the pretty thing. Exactly. And we're trying to focus now on events, so people can find more events on it. That's our main focus now, because everything costs money to build it, and we have to shift our focus where our priority of the communities are, or at the time. And now I want to go a little bit back to the money thing, and that is one thing that other platforms, in my opinion, didn't do, because to create something, it costs money, and unfortunately, it is like that. It is a lot of money to keep something like this up in the air. And that's one of the reasons why we want to bundle as many platforms as possible into one platform, because all the platforms, and as I said, Airsoft is very small, they are going to the same manufacturers. They are going to the same organizers, the same shops for, hey, give me money to build my platform. But why build 10 different platforms or 20 different? Because I have a list. Every country has their own platform. Why not have one platform where we're all working together on this, and we can use all the money to build it one big one instead of 20 small ones that are not going anywhere. And we, when I sat down with Airsofter World the first time, that the money thing was one of my biggest concerns, because I don't want to use the player as a milking cow. That would be easy. Like, you need to pay a subscription to use the platform, and we will get a lot of money. But that would be stupid, because the money.
Sorry.
See, that would happen. That would. But John is an amazing guy from the States, and I explained him exactly how to put events on it. And we launched a YouTube video last week on how to step-by-step add your events in it. Back to the money. So there are 4 pillars of the money that we need, that we're going to try to find the money to build the platform. And that is that's the manufacturers, that is the shops, the organizers, and lastly, that's the players. And it's in that order that you need to find money. And yes, it is harder to sit down with all the bigger brands and be like, hey, you need to invest in this. This is good for the airsoft community. The airsoft community will grow, and the more players you have, the more you will sell. And that's my task, to sell it to them. That's why I'm going tomorrow to Germany, to IWA, and sit down with I think I'm sitting down with Neutral, Wolverine, ASG is on my list. So a lot of the bigger companies I'm gonna sit down with, and Airsoft Action, of course, who are supporting as much as they can, and I love it. And getting the money is hard. It's not easy, but it is an essential part to keep the platform going. And I'm trying very hard to find that money to keep updating the platform. But if you don't have any income, at some point this is going to stop. And that is something that I don't want to see happen. And that's why I put that much energy and effort in trying to find the money in the places where there is money, and not from the airsoft, because I want you to have money to play, so the organizers can get money from you, and they can give the money to us, basically.
It's frustrating, isn't it, finding that balance in terms of you don't want to keep asking people for money, but money does make the world go round at the same time. It's frustrating.
And I'd rather have so the prices for organizers, it's not a secret. We have a roadmap for organizers, and we are now in phase 3. That doesn't mean much, but for organizers, you might, when I tell you about the whole plan, we are in phase 3 right now. And that means that we have one fee for all organizers. And later that fee is going to change from people that want to use the whole registration system, because on the website there's a whole registration system that organizers can use to have tickets. And with the app that was online, but Google took it down because stupid reasons. The organizers can have an app and just scan the ticket, and it's updated in the platform, and everything is linked together. And if you want to use that system, it's just going to cost you some money. But for now, that's phase 4. So we're talking about phase 3 right now. And phase 3 is every organizer that wants to promote their events on it, it's costing them 50 euros a year to use it. And we wanted to keep it as low as possible. Why? Because, well, we might live in the west side of the European, well, we are still in Europe, but the west part of the Europe continent thingy, we are more richer countries. If you go to the east, the events are a lot cheaper. Like, they play events for 5 euros, while in UK it's like 20-30 pounds for an event. So there is a lot more money in our parts. So the 50 euros is a balance between somewhere in the middle. And also organizers that organize one game but have a lot of players, or they organize 20 games with less players, we try to find the balance for all organizers. That's the 50 euros. And with that, we try to raise more money to have more features for the organizers.
Nice. We've had a couple of questions. Liam has asked, when you get to IWA, say hello to Rita.
I will. That's for ICS.
And then also a question that other people might be interested in as well.
Yes, Step, you can buy Airsoft World patches. There are patches available. We sell them at €5. Um,
I need to get one actually. I don't have one.
what we do is we try to bundle the patches per country. So we have a team in different countries, and we ship them out to people that are working on the platform. So the shipping is a lot less, but also the community is building because they need to reach out to our Airsofter World people. And it's the first step to start asking questions about what is Airsofter World, and they can speak with them in their own language, which lowers the barrier to ask more questions.
Mhm.
There is a whole strategy behind it.
So, what is actually needed from the airsoft community to help grow it?
Just get on it. That's basically it. Make an account on it. The more people we have, the more investors are going to invest in it. If I go tomorrow to IWA and I can show, like, I talked with UKAL girls, and during the podcast, 1,000 new members showed up. Like, it's a new UK is on board now, so UK will grow, or wherever that the podcast is listened on. So this is time to invest in it, and you can see this is helping the community grow and come together. If nobody's using it, I have to go to those people and be like, well, we have a platform, but nobody cares. And that's
Yeah.
the thing with Airsofter World. Everybody, when I explain Airsofter World to anybody, everybody's like, we need this. We need a place to find all the events. We need to have a place where we can share our pictures without being afraid of it being taken down. I want to talk to my fellow airsofters from the States, from anywhere around the world, but I don't know where to find them. We need this. Well, get on board and just make an account and start sharing your airsoft stuff. We saw all the amazing pictures from the 10 picture challenge. I think everybody was tagged in it somewhere or someone.
Yeah.
That post that on Airsofter World and start sharing the pictures, because there is a lot of content that people don't share. For me too, I didn't share a lot of content lately because I was too busy with other stuff, but there's always a reason not to share your stuff. And with that, I had to do it. Well, I didn't have to, but I did it. And now I'm going to share one picture of my older pictures because I've been playing since 2006. So there is a lot of footage of me out there that I want to bring into the world and people to see. So I'm going to do that on Airsoft World. Every week there's going to be a picture with a lot of explanation of what the picture is about.
That's good. I'm going to say everyone should definitely try and jump on that. I'm signed up. Yeah.
Also, if you share good stuff, it's going to break down the bad stuff, because what we have now online is not the best representation of what airsoft is. Yes, you have it in your small little bubbles, but the outside world only sees the crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if we don't share that to the world, nobody's going to see it.
Yeah.
And if we have our own little bubble and that grows, we will be a lot stronger, and our associations are going to have something to show to the world, which they don't have right now because they don't have the support from the communities.
Yeah.
Here's one for you. Have you ever gone anywhere and people have recognised you? Like, it could be a shop, down the street, another city.
Yes, but it was always airsoft related.
Yeah. I've
It's-
had the strangest encounter tonight. I want to get a tattoo. My dad passed away 2 years ago, so he was a Yorkshireman. So we have the Yorkshire rose, the white rose. I went into a tattoo place today, asking about the tattoo. And then I said, you know, if this first tattoo goes well, I might possibly get another. I'm thinking, oh, maybe an airsoft gun on my ankle because I play airsoft. The other guy that works there said, I play airsoft as well. His girlfriend was round the corner that works there. I play airsoft. I went, by any chance, have you ever heard of UKAL, UK Airsoft Ladies? They're like, yeah, we've heard of them. We follow. I'm like, oh my God, small world. Next thing, I'm at the back of the tattoo shop. They've opened up a cupboard and they showed me all the guns in the back of the cupboard. Turns out they go to my local site as well. We could have shot each other at some point. I was like, oh my God, I've gone into a tattoo shop for a tattoo and they've heard of UKAL.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Airsoft is a small world.
Yeah.
And as soon I've been talking to so many different countries, and I always circle all the way back until I find somebody that I already met before.
Yeah.
And it was the best example was how Airsofter World and Airsoft United met. It was a Romanian guy that knew both platforms, and we didn't knew, but he knew, and we're all passionate about what we do.
Yeah.
And there is a lot more airsofters around the world than we think. It's just like we hide in the shadows or something. And why? We shouldn't do that. Because
Exactly.
as soon as you start talking about it, people light up and people start talking about their passion, because it feels like they're not allowed to do it because they're gonna be looked at like, who look at those crazy people.
Yeah.
But you can learn so much from airsoft. And one of the examples is when I'm leading like at Burgett. There is so much that I learned from other people that been doing this longer than me, and showing me how to lead 100 people into a game. And that takes skill to do that. You need to learn how to do that. It is not just shooting at each other. It's people skill. It's management skills. So many different things that you need to do before you can start shooting the other person. The physique, your body needs to be ready to be able to do that. Your food, your nutrition, it's all a part of airsoft. But only the thing that people see is, we shoot that person until he bleeds, and preferably on his head.
How did you first get into airsoft?
I started in 2006. I gamed, like a lot of people.
I would have been 8.
I played Battlefield 2 for the young kids. It's like Battlefield 1 but older. And I always wanted to play as a team player, and being stuck inside, well, it's fun for evenings. But when you started to learn that, hey, I can do this outside in the woods and run and use my physique while doing it, and working out while doing it, well, that's a lot more fun. And you can just you lose you're away from the world at that point. You step on side of on a game site, and that day you're like, this is my world now. And you step out of it, and then you go back to your normal life.
That's one of the most common things that I hear from
Yeah.
quite a lot of players. Is it's just that escape from everyday life. To just kind of be this almost like a character out of
you can be
video game almost. You know what I mean? Like,
you can be whoever you want.
Escape from every day.
You can work on the best sides of yourself. If you want to if I go to CQB games, I'm just there to sweat and get shot. That's why I'm there. If I go to bigger milsims, it's to have the team spirit. It's to have the building, drain myself mentally and physically. And then from 2006, I started playing in Belgium. I bought my first rifle on eBay, which is not allowed anymore. And I kept going to games, and now I've been playing for 18 years, I think, if my math is right. And it hurts when you come on site and you have to register a person that was born in 2006. And he asks you, how long have you been playing?
Knowing what you know now, Rob, what advice would you have given yourself for your first game?
Actually, none. It's a question that you send me, and it's one that I needed to think about. Because I play airsoft the way I do because of the things that I learned on the field. And if I would have known the things, if I would go to myself and be like, hey, you need to do this and this and that, I would say to that guy, no. I will hit my face first onto several walls before accepting that that might not be the right path to follow. Also, things that happened 18 years ago are not relevant anymore because things change. So what we did then is totally different from what we do now. So I would just look at myself and see myself fail a million times and learn from it, because um, every failure is a learning opportunity, and it grows yourself as a person and what you do, and not only in airsoft but also in your normal life.
It's a very good answer.
Thank you. I had a lot of time to think about it.
What would you say your most memorable moment in airsoft is? And
Oh, damn it. I wrote that down because
Can't be
okay.
that memorable.
No. And that's the thing. That's the thing about airsoft. I go to a site, and if I don't record it, I forget what happened, because you're in the moment, and
Yeah.
I can say like, oh, I had an amazing moment when this happened, or I flanked that guy, but that's very difficult to explain to people. But if I have to choose two things, I can have one milsim that we did, and we were civilians, and it shows that even if the other side has a lot more money and equipment than you can still be a pain in the ass for that side. And we were civilians, and the other side was task force. And the task force they all had night visions, and not only the cheap ones, but the good ones. So during the day, I knew that the thing was coming, and I had the organizer confirmed that I was able to do it. And during the day, I was just a working guy doing stuff on the field, and I had my ladder with me. I started screwing things, and there was a village build, and it became nighttime, and everybody geared up. They took out their thousands and thousands euros of night visions out of their Pelican cases that costs more than my rifle, and they put it on, and I just put on the generator, and I equipped the whole field with floodlights. But the whole field was all floodlights, and you could see them standing there in the night visions, and they just were like, "Fuck it."
Yeah.
Oh.
Love it. That's so funny.
And I know the guys, and they were like, "Why?" And that was so funny. But at 12, I just put down the generator so they could play with their night visions, and we just had some fun, and they could sneak up to us. So it's all fun and games, but they were like, they still remember that. And the other one is, I wrote that one down, is that Burgit. Burgit is such a special thing, and I've been going there now it's going to be my 8th Burgit. And the way that you drain yourself physically and mentally, it is you can only do it by going there. And it's not one specific moment, but everybody that goes to Burgit has the moment that he's laying in his sleeping bag, cold, wet, telling himself like, why am I paying 500 euros, we all included, to be here and be miserable? And then there is always the friend that looks at you and be like, hey, we're gonna get through this together. And in those moments of your when you're done, and then you have people that you don't know, you never seen before, they come up to you and they drag you up, and they drag you through that moment. That is amazing. And I have the most precious friendships I build up into airsoft, into those games where you've been stripped down by all the beautiful things, and you have no filter anymore. If I talk to you when I'm tired, you're gonna know what my problem is. I'm not gonna use energy to be like polite. It's gonna be, fill my camel bag, you dumb whatever. Why? Because I need it. All stuff like that. And that is the beauty on airsoft, and that's a memorable moment in every Burgit. Every time there is a moment that happens.
Nice. We've had a couple of comments. Seeing as we're live on Instagram now, I've had a couple of comments on there. One being from Lone Star Tactical. He said, are you going to be at NAPA this year, basically?
We don't know yet. Like, some people know that we're moving to Sweden. We're gonna be in Sweden for the summer, so I have no idea what the UK situation will be for me to go there. Also, we've been there 2 times now. Once as a player and once as a social thing to talk about Airsofter World. And I do like the setup, but I felt that I was only talking to like a small bunch of people, even though there are 3,000 people. For me, it was just like, if there was a game with 100 people, it would be the same thing for me because I'm not talking to all the others.
Mhm.
So I rather go to a week touring through UK, visiting smaller sites, than going to the big one,
Yeah.
because I
That
don't
makes sense.
I
Yeah.
don't see the value for me to go there. Like, game wise, we go to Bergen and it's like you have the massive battles there too, but it's more organized and there's a lot more structure. Social wise, I go to IWA this weekend to talk about Airsofter World, and there are more companies to talk to. Even though the UK companies were very nice to talk to, I talked to I forgot the name from your previous guest, and I wrote it down. I was like, I need to remember it.
Eddie.
Yes. I talked to him on NAF, and he made an account on Airsoft World. So it does something, but I don't feel it's worth it to pay the price, which for us is also the boat, the diesel, the ticket.
Yeah, adds up.
It's a lot of money to go, and if I can spend the same money just touring through UK and maybe Scotland and Ireland and visit some sites there, I would be more willing to do that.
That's fair enough. And then we've had Coolsign Hulk been very active in the comments, but one of
Very,
the
very active.
questions he's had is, which Milsim event are you excited to attend?
A Bergen. There are 2 in Sweden that there are on my agenda right now. That's Bergen and Bellum, and there will be more. But I just, with the moving part, I have no idea where I will be playing. But there's gonna be more different Milsims that I want to do.
Sounds good. I've never actually tried one. Well, which viewers would know because we discussed it before.
I
so,
love them.
yeah.
It's actually, we're not going to go into it too much, but I'm curious what people think about what is Milsim, because I made a video about different types of airsoft, and one of the reasons, one of the advantages of Airsofter World is that we can finally define something that is called Milsim. We can say this is Milsim, because now everything is Milsim because it's military simulation. Which I already changed to simulation games, because you can have reenactment games that are Milsim, but they're just older Milsims. So where do they fit in? So people call them different games. They call film sims. They are called whatever. There are so many different terms for Milsim. I don't call Bergen a Milsim. I call it a big game, because there are Milsim elements, but it's a simulation game. It simulates the whole hierarchy of a bigger army of 500 people. But Milsim is just too broad.
Yeah.
So depends what you mean about Milsim. If I go to a game with only people in camouflage, there we go. A chill sim. You can have chill sim, grill sim. There are a lot of sims you can do.
I have there's a site near me, and they do battle sims and film sims and mil sims, and I'm like, oh.
I know there are
Sorry.
differences in how they the gear is different. For film sims, that's usually taken out of a film scenario that they try to recreate in a game. So I do understand it, but where is the line? Where is the difference? With Airsoft World, we can be like, hey, what is your definition of Milsim? What is your definition of Milsim? And then we can categorize it. We can give some pointing thingies to it, how hard it is, how difficult it is, and then we can have some different subcategories under Milsim to finally explain what it is. Because it's a point of frustration, because I want to go to Milsims, a certain type of Milsims. But if people tell me, hey, I organize a Milsim, but I have no idea what you do or what you mean with Milsim, I can go to your event and be super disappointed. But another guy that wants to go to hardcore Milsims and just sit in the rain for 48 hours, that could be the perfect game for him. and it's also called milsim, but that would be super boring for me.
Mm.
It is quite broad spectrum.
Yeah.
When we say milsim, what's for each of you guys? What's the like first word that comes to your head to describe it? Like first word when someone says what's a milsim, like how would you describe
Lack of
it?
sleep,
Lack of sleep.
coffee, nicotine.
That's
Expect to be shot during the night when you're asleep. Wear your eye pro when you're asleep because you'll get shot. Do stag. Yeah.
that's 6 answers there, Alex. I said one.
Okay. Lack of sleep.
I don't think I could just give
You have
one.
to just one.
But
First thing.
I think it'd be the fact that they'd have stricter rules on like how many rounds you can carry and stuff like that, and what
certain events is like that.
What kit you can carry and stuff like that, like certain, like a lot stricter than just a normal gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me it'd probably be fitness.
What?
Fitness.
Oh, I thought you said shitness. What?
It's very important. It's very important.
Fucking Dave Drew. Baby wipes. So the provide news, you're all right.
Oh dear. No,
the fact that quite a lot of them do go on for a whole weekend through the night, so you've got to have some pretty decent stamina.
Oh
yeah, that's the thing.
You can get your sleep though.
Does a milsim needs to go on for longer than 6 hours? I can get you into a game, I'm pretty sure, and you will feel that it will be one of the most team exercises, and it will feel as a milsim for 6 to 8 hours, and you will be drained. You will be you will have your plate full with all the things that people will bring on the table for you. Otherwise it's just camping.
True.
Well, like, I think it's just, I don't know, like the amount of kit and the fact, like, I struggle with just an normal skirmish. I'm just a very unfit person, so yeah.
You don't have to be fit. No, you don't have to be fit to do a milsim. Like, I've done plenty of milsims with Sterling. I've done them with Defiant events. There's Defiant events have done more role play scenarios as well. Like, I was a drug addict attorney, going around the different gangs, buying drugs, selling drugs, getting them out of jail.
Still talking about the game, right?
And like, we were sleeping in the building, so you don't need to carry a lot of kit on you because you leave the building, and then it's up to you when you want to go sleep and things like this. I definitely think you need to do a Defiant event, Drew. Just come with me and do one.
There is a whole. I tell a lot of people that want to go to Bergen, you don't need a lot of stuff to go to Bergen.
No.
I have a kit list, and I use the basic gear to go there, and I have people that are not in shape at all, and you just work with them, and if they can't do certain things, you put them in different locations, you give them different assignments, you adapt to the situation and the people that you have.
I'll take that on board, definitely. So just looking at the time,
yeah, because if we talk about this,
yeah,
we have to have a podcast only about milsim, and I don't.
We'll get you on another time for that. So yeah, we'll do our UKAL player of the pod. So this pod, I always want to say this week, is call sign Mother, also known as Carly. So yeah, I've met Carly a couple of times.
That's a cool picture.
Yeah, it's very cool.
That was taken at the meetup, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Yeah. So I think she's relatively new to Airsoft, and she plays with her daughter as well. But she's jumped in and just taken it in her stride, really. She just gets proper stuck in there. I mean, Sarah, you said you had like an encounter with her at the meetup.
Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah, when we got stuck in the building with all the pyro being thrown at us. And I tell you what, we, like, not blowing my own trumpet because it was definitely a team effort, but us lasses downstairs, we held that building for so long. And hats off to everyone that was in there because we did so well. I think there was a couple of guys upstairs as well. My other half was up there, but that was a cracking bit of gameplay. And all the ladies in there got proper stuck in and just proper showed the lads that, you know, we can't be reckoned with. So it was really good.
It was good. That was probably one of my funnest airsoft moments, actually.
Definitely, same. Yeah.
It's up there, one of the best moments of airsoft. Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, well done, Carly, for that one, definitely. I think that's most of it now. So obviously you may have noticed if you've been watching this evening, we've got a new layout. So yeah, you can now watch us on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook Live. And then afterwards we'll be up on Spotify and probably YouTube again still. So yeah, if you want to get involved with comments, it's a lot easier if you comment on Facebook or YouTube, but obviously Instagram's the easiest platform for most, so we try and keep up to date and watch comments on there. Yeah, thank you ever so much, Rob, for coming on this evening. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. And if I can say one more thing,
Go for it.
because I just opened the analytics for the website, because I wanted to see if people from UK looked at the website, and they did. So thank you for jumping on it.
Aww.
And
I'll
that-
get signed up.
and not just signing up, but just people who visited from the UK. And one thing that I wanted to mention is our mobile version sucks. So it is the worst. Well, you can do something, you can view some things, but we're focusing on the browser version right now, and then we're gonna work on the app, and hopefully we're gonna delete the mobile version because it's confusing. Confusing. Because on the desktop version you can do a lot more. You can add pictures. You can use everything. On the mobile version you can't. And if people jump on their phone and they open up the website, they're gonna see crap because it doesn't look good. So what I always do, even on my phone, I switch to desktop mode, and then you can see the whole website in its full glory. But the best to use is just on the desktop right now. But we're working on the app, and then it's going to be perfect for you to scroll in the toilet through all the airsoft pictures that people are going to post. But that's in the future.
Yeah, and
We'll have to. Oh, sorry. I was going to say we'll have to do a little post on our socials just with the website link for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I think as well with like all the restrictions at the moment that on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, everything with airsoft, it's nice to have or to know there's a platform out there that will accept all of that, you know, and there is no restrictions. And I think it will hopefully become like the airsoft Facebook, essentially.
But better.
Of course.
Yeah.
A lot better, definitely. So yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. We really appreciate it. And our next podcast, I've got the date written down, is the 12th of March. So you'll be able to find us live again on hopefully all these platforms. And yeah, we'll be live and we'll announce who's going to be on in the next week or so.
Can I add to that to keep an eye on our social media, because we may or may not be celebrating something next month and releasing something.
Very well remembered. Yes, definitely. Keep your eyes peeled and get involved. 100%. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and we'll catch you all next time.
Great.
Toodles.
Bye.
Bye.